The classroom door slammed so hard, the windows rattled. 24-year-old Mackenzie Torres hit the floor, her knees cracking against cold linoleum. Above her, Bryce Coleman's voice boomed like thunder. "Crawl like the dog you are!" The fluorescent lights flickered. The smell of chalk, dust, and teenage sweat filled the air. 17-year-old Bryce, 6'3" of pure muscle, towered over the new English teacher. His football jersey stretched tight across his chest, his fists clenched white at his sides. But Mackenzie Torres didn't crawl. She didn't cry. She didn't even flinch. Instead, something flickered in her dark eyes. Something Bryce Coleman had never seen before. Something that would change everything in the next 60 seconds. If you're feeling that rush of what's going to happen next, hit that like button. It really helps more people discover these stories. And if you want to share where you're watching from, drop it in the comments below. For those who want to support more stories like this one, there's a thanks button right under this video. Every contribution, no matter how small, helps me bring you more inspiring tales of courage and standing up for what's right. Thank you for being here. Now, let's see what happens when push comes to shove. 3 weeks earlier, Mackenzie had walked into Jefferson High School with nothing but hope and a worn copy of To Kill a Mockingbird. Fresh out of college, brown hair pulled back in a simple ponytail. She believed teaching would be her calling. She believed she could make a difference. She believed wrong. Room 217 smelled like old textbooks and broken dreams. 25 students slouched in plastic chairs, most scrolling through phones hidden under desks. But Mackenzie smiled anyway. She wrote her name on the board in careful cursive. "Good morning, everyone. I'm Miss Torres, your new English teacher." Silence. A few glances. One girl in the front row actually looked up. "I know it's October, and you've had substitutes for a month, but we're going to make this work together." More silence. Then, from the back corner, a low chuckle. Bryce Coleman didn't even pretend to hide his phone. He held it up. Camera pointed straight at her. "Yo, check this out," he said to his buddy Mason. "New teacher thinks she's gonna change our lives." The class laughed. Not mean laughter. Not yet. Just the nervous kind that happens when the biggest kid in school decides something's funny. Mackenzie's smile didn't waver. She'd prepared for this. Student teaching had shown her plenty of class clowns. She walked down the aisle, steady and calm, until she stood right beside Bryce's desk. "I'll take that." Bryce looked up, genuinely surprised. Most teachers avoided him. Smart teachers. Anyway, he was the star quarterback. His father owned half the commercial real estate in Dallas. His brother had just finished Yale Law. Nobody took Bryce Coleman's phone. "Nah, I'm good." It wasn't a request. The room went quiet. Real quiet. The kind where you could hear the ancient heating system tick in the walls. Bryce's jaw twitched. For a second, Mackenzie saw something flicker across his face. Not anger. Something else. Something younger. Then it was gone. Replaced by that practiced smirk. Whatever. He handed over the phone. She slipped it into her desk drawer and went back to teaching. The lesson went smooth after that. Kids actually participated. Jasmine Washington, the girl in the front row, asked 3 questions about symbolism. Even Mason took notes. But Bryce just stared. And planned. 2 days later, the video hit social media like a bomb. "Drunk teacher can't walk straight" blazed across TikTok in neon letters. 50,000 views in 48 hours. The footage showed Mackenzie stumbling in the hallway, slurring her words, nearly falling into lockers. Except Mackenzie didn't drink, hadn't touched alcohol since her mom's funeral 2 years ago. She sat in her empty classroom, laptop open, watching herself on screen. The editing was seamless, professional. Even, they'd taken footage of her tripping over a backpack, slowed it down, added blur effects, spliced audio from different conversations to make her sound intoxicated, even added subtle color correction to make her face look flushed. "It's really well done." Mackenzie jumped. Jasmine Washington stood in the doorway, backpack slung over one shoulder. "Sorry, didn't mean to scare you." Jasmine stepped inside. Closed the door. I saw the video. Everyone has. I wasn't drunk. I know. Jasmine pulled out a purple flash drive. I've been recording things. Not to be creepy. Just insurance. My older sister had Bryce in her grade. Said I should document everything. Mackenzie took the drive. Turned it over in her fingers. What's on here? 3 weeks of footage. Him making the video. Him and his friends planning worse things. They call it Operation Fresh Meat. The door burst open. Bryce filled the frame. Mason and 2 other football players behind him. Yo, Washington, you lost? Jasmine's hand tightened on her backpack strap. But she didn't move. Just asking about the homework. Homework. Bryce stepped into the room. The fluorescence caught the gold in his hair. Made his blue eyes look almost black. That's cute. You think this USB is gonna help? He'd seen it. Of course he'd seen it. Give it here. Yasmin backed up. Mackenzie stood, moving between them. Bryce, go to class. Or what? You'll take my phone again? He laughed. But there was no humor in it. Check your email. Miss Torres, check what the parents are saying. Check what the school board thinks about drunk teachers. She had checked. 17 emails from concerned parents. 3 from board members. 1 from the principal suggesting she be more careful with her public image. I wasn't drunk. Doesn't matter what you were. Matters what they saw. He leaned against a desk. Casual as Sunday morning. You know, my dad sued the last teacher who gave me problems. Poor Mr. Shen, still paying off legal fees, had to move back with his parents in Houston. Mason shifted uncomfortably. Bro, maybe we should… Shut up. Bryce didn't even look at him. His eyes stayed locked on Mackenzie. Here's what's gonna happen. Jasmine's gonna hand over that drive. You're gonna stop trying so hard in class. And everyone's gonna have a nice, easy semester. No. The word hung in the air like a challenge. Bryce straightened. What? I said no. Jasmine, you can go. Yasmin hesitated, then darted past the football players. They let her go. Bigger fish to fry. You're new here, Bryce said slowly, like explaining to a child. So I'll break it down. This is my school. My team just won state. My brother's a Rhodes Scholar. My dad owns the building your apartment's probably in. You're nobody. A substitute teacher with a community college degree and daddy issues. Mackenzie blinked. How did he know about her father? Yeah, I did my homework too. Miguel Torres. Marine. 2 tours in Iraq. Came back all messed up in the head. Classic P. T. S. D. Story. He pulled out his phone. Scrolled. Says here he spent some time at the V. Petlin Hospital. Says here your mom died while he was gone. Cancer. Right? Must have been hard. Being alone like that. The room spun slightly. Mackenzie gripped the edge of her desk. But hey, at least he taught you to box before he went crazy. That's what it says in your college newspaper. Local girl channels grief into golden gloves. Touching story. Too bad boxing won't help you here. Mason grabbed Bryce's arm. Dude, that's enough. Bryce shook him off. Is it? She needs to understand how things work. This ain't some movie where the plucky teacher saves the troubled kids. This is real life. And in real life, people like me win. He headed for the door. Stopped. Turned back. That video, that's nothing. Keep pushing, and I'll destroy you. Ask Mr. Chen how that feels. They left. Mackenzie sank into her chair, hands shaking slightly. Not from fear, from rage. Pure, clean rage. She hadn't felt since watching her mother waste away while her father fought someone else's war. She pulled out her phone, found the contact she hadn't called in 6 months. Dad, it's me. I might need those lessons again. The next week passed in small cruelties. Coffee spilled on grated papers, tires slashed in the parking lot, dead roses in her mailbox with notes saying career suicide is painful. The administration did nothing. Principal Hayes just kept saying kids will be kids, and maybe try connecting with Bryce. But the worst part was the isolation. Other teachers stopped talking to her. Even the cafeteria ladies looked away when she bought lunch. Only Jasmine acknowledged her existence, slipping supportive notes under the classroom door. Then Mackenzie found the yearbook. She was cleaning out the previous teacher's desk when it fell out. Jefferson High, 2010. She flipped through absently, then stopped. There, in the freshman section, was a face she recognized. Skinny, acne-covered, thick glasses. The name underneath, Bryce Coleman. She flipped to the index, found more pictures. Bryce getting shoved into lockers. Bryce sitting alone at lunch. Bryce with a black eye after falling downstairs. And there, in tiny print, under his senior quote, "They'll all pay." Found something interesting? Coach Hernandez stood in her doorway. 50-something, built like a brick wall. He coached football and taught history. He'd never spoken to her before. Just old yearbooks. He walked over, glanced at the page. His face didn't change, but something shifted in his eyes. Kid had it rough freshman year. Real rough. His brother was already at Harvard. Dad expected another superstar. Got a 90-pound asthmatic instead. What happened? Summer growth spurt. Steroids. Rage? The usual. He sat on a desk. It creaked under his weight. By sophomore year, he was benching 220. By junior year, he was hunting down everyone who'd ever laughed at him. And you let him? I'm a coach, not a therapist. Kid wins games. That's what they pay me for. He stood. But between you and me, that boy's a ticking bomb. And when he goes off, I won't be anywhere near the blast zone. He left. Mackenzie stared at the yearbook photo. Skinny Bryce stared back, eyes full of pain that had curdled into something darker. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Check your email. Jay. She opened her laptop. A new message from Jasmine's encrypted account. The subject line, "You need to see this." Attached was an audio file. She put in earbuds. Hit play. He's not my son. The voice was older. Refined. Bryce's father. My son is at Yale Law. That thing wearing my last name? That's my failure. You want to know why I don't come to his games? Because every touchdown reminds me what he could have been if he'd used his brain instead of his fists. Dad. Please, Bryce's voice. Younger. Breaking. Don't call me that. You want my attention? Earn it. Do something that matters. Until then, you're just another dumb jock wasting my DNA. The recording ended. Mackenzie pulled out her earbuds. Heart racing. This explained everything. And nothing. Trauma didn't excuse terrorism. Pain didn't justify causing more pain. She thought of her own father, broken by war, haunted by ghosts, but still teaching her to channel darkness into something useful. Pain into power. Maya, never into poison. Thursday afternoon. The trap was set. Mackenzie knew something was wrong. The second she entered her classroom, too quiet, too empty. The door clicked behind her. Locked. Bryce sat on her desk, feet swinging like a child's, but his eyes were all predator. Just you and me. Miss Torres. No witnesses. No cameras. The janitor's gone home. Principal's at a board meeting. Even coach is at an away game. She set down her bag, kept her breathing steady. What do you want? Respect. He hopped off the desk. See, I figured out your problem. You think you're better than us? Better than this town. Better than me. I don't think about you at all. His face flushed. Liar, I see how you look at me. Like I'm some broken thing you can fix. Some charity case for your teaching portfolio. You're not broken. Bryce, you're just angry. Don't. His voice dropped dangerous low. Don't you dare psychoanalyze me. You want to know angry? I'll show you angry. He moved fast for someone his size. The desk between them flipped. Books scattering. Mackenzie stepped back. Hit the wall. See, I know all about you. Daddy came back from war. All messed up. Mommy died alone. Little Mackenzie learned to fight because she couldn't fix either of them. Now you're here. trying to fix us, trying to matter. Stop. Your dad crawled in Iraq, crawled through sand and blood and bodies. PTSD. So bad he can't even hug you without shaking. He stepped closer. Know what? You're gonna crawl too? Right here. Right now. I'm leaving. She tried to move past him. His hand shot out. Grabbed her hair. Yanked hard. Pain exploded through her scalp. You're not going anywhere. His breath was hot on her face. Smelled like energy drinks and desperation. Get on your knees. Let go. Get on your knees. She stayed standing. He yanked harder, forcing her down. Her knees hit linoleum. The same cold floor from the opening scene. The same position, but this time, she wasn't surprised. This time, she was ready. Good girl. Now crawl. Crawl like the nobody you are. Crawl like your psycho dad. Maybe I'll let you keep your job. Maybe I'll delete the next video. The one where you hit a student. Amazing what I can do these days. Mackenzie's hands pressed flat against the floor. Inside her mind, her father's voice echoed clear. Breathe. Maya. Feel the ground. Find your center. Wait for the moment. I said crawl. Bryce reached down to force her forward. His balance shifted. His weight committed. The moment. Time slowed. 3 years of training crystallized into perfect clarity. Mackenzie's body moved like water, flowing up and around. Her left hand grabbed his reaching wrist. Her right foot planted. Her hips torqued. And then, rising like a phoenix from ashes, she delivered the uppercut her father had made her practice 1,000 times. The sound was beautiful. Flesh meeting flesh with a crack like lightning. Bryce's head snapped back. His feet actually left the ground. For one perfect second, 220 pounds of quarterback floated in space. Then gravity remembered its job. Bryce hit the floor hard. Blood sprayed from his nose, decorating the white tiles like abstract art. He lay there, eyes wide, brain trying to process what just happened. Mackenzie stood over him, breathing steady, stance perfect, not angry, not proud, just ready. My father didn't crawl in Iraq, she said quietly. He saved 4 men from an I.E.D., and he didn't teach me to box for exercise. He taught me for moments like this. Bryce tried to speak. Only bubbles came out. From the supply closet, a slow clap. The door opened. Coach Hernandez stepped out, phone in hand. I saw everything, he said. I saw everything. Coach Hernandez repeated, stepping fully out of the supply closet, his phone still recording, held steady like a weapon. Mackenzie's stance didn't relax. Blood pounded in her ears. Bryce groaned on the floor between them, trying to sit up, failing. Been in that closet 45 minutes. Coach continued. Heard him planning this yesterday. Figured someone should witness what happened. The real version, you let him. I let him show his true colors. On camera, with audio. He pocketed his phone. That boy's been terrorizing this school for 3 years. Administration wouldn't listen. His daddy's money talks too loud. But this they can't ignore. Bryce managed to prop himself on one elbow. Blood still streamed from his nose, staining his varsity jacket. You set me up? No. Son, you set yourself up. I just made sure someone recorded it. Coach walked over, looked down at his star quarterback with something between pity and disgust. 20 years I've been coaching. Never seen a kid with more talent or less character. I'll ruin you. Bryce's voice came out thick, wet. Both of you. My dad will. Your dad won't do anything. A new voice from the window. Jasmine Washington climbed through, end quote. Laptop bag slung across her shoulder. Sorry. Door was locked. Had to get creative. She pulled out her computer. Set it on a desk. The screen showed a live stream dashboard. Viewer count. 12,347. And climbing. See. I learned something from you. Bryce. Document everything. So when I saw you lure Miss Torres here, I set up outside. Got the whole thing through the window. HD quality. Multiple angles. Even got your confession about the fake videos. Bryce's face went white under the blood. You streamed it? Instagram Live, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, all simultaneously. She turned the laptop around. Comments flooded the screen. Hashtag Team Mackenzie is trending. Hashtag Bryce Coleman exposed is #2. Oh, and hashtag Jefferson High cover-up is climbing fast. Turn it off! Can't. Already saved to the cloud. Downloaded by thousands. Reddit's having a field day. She scrolled through her phone. Oh, look. Local news just picked it up. Channel 8 wants an interview. Mackenzie finally lowered her hands. The adrenaline was fading, leaving her shaky. Jasmine, you could get in trouble for. For what? Documenting a crime? Texas is a one-party consent state for recording. I looked it up. She smiled. All 17-year-old righteousness. Besides, my cousin's a civil rights lawyer. She's been waiting for a case like this. Coach Hernandez pulled out his radio. Marina? Yeah. We need security in room 217. And probably an ambulance. Student injury. Don't you dare. Bryce tried to stand. Stumbled. I'm not going anywhere in an ambulance. I'm fine. Your nose is broken. Mackenzie said quietly. Possibly your orbital bone. You need medical attention. I don't need anything from you. He made it to his feet. Swaying. This isn't over. You hit me. That's assault. I'll press charges. Actually, Jasmine pulled up something on her phone. Under Texas Penal Code Chapter 9, she was defending herself against unlawful force. You grabbed her hair, forced her to the ground. She used reasonable force to stop the assault. It's textbook self-defense. How do you know all this? AP Government. Plus, my sister's pre-law at Rice. She's been texting me legal precedents for the last 10 minutes. Another ping. Oh, and she says your dad just called her firm. Wants to discuss damage control. Guess he saw the live stream too. The door burst open. 2 security guards rushed in, followed by the school nurse. They took one look at the scene. Bryce bleeding. Mackenzie standing. Coach recording. Yasmin typing. And stopped short. What happened here? Assault and battery. Bryce spat. This teacher attacked me. Self-defense. Coach corrected. All on video. Multiple angles. The lead guard. Officer Martinez. Syed. We'll need statements from everyone. Nurse Kelly. Check the kid. As the nurse examined Bryce, Mackenzie felt her phone buzz. 17 missed calls. 43 texts. The principal. The superintendent. Numbers she didn't recognize. She turned it off. Miss Torres? Officer Martinez approached. You injured? She touched her scalp, where Bryce had grabbed her hair. Tender, but not serious. I'm okay. We'll need you to file a report. For the record, I understand. Jasmine's laptop pinged. She gasped. Oh my God. Guys. What now? Coach asked. Someone leaked audio. From Bryce's phone. She hit play. The room filled with Bryce's voice. Younger. Pleading. Dad. I made varsity. Starting quarterback. Aren't you proud? Proud? His father's voice. Cold as winter. Your brother just published in Harvard Law Review. That's an accomplishment. You caught a ball. Monkeys can catch balls. It's more than that. Is it? Tell me. Son, when you're 40 and your knees are shot and your brain's mush from concussions, what will you have? Your brother will be a Supreme Court justice. You'll be selling used cars. Talking about your glory days. I just wanted, you want my approval? Earn it. Do something that matters. Until then, you're just another Coleman disappointment. The audio cut off. The room was silent, except for Bryce's ragged breathing. Who leaked that? Jasmine checked her screen. Anonymous account. But it's going viral. Faster than the fight video. My private conversations. Bryce looked around wildly. That's illegal? That's karma, Coach said quietly. How many kids' private moments did you broadcast? How many edited videos did you post? Turn it off. Turn it off. But it was too late. The internet had its teeth in the story, a rich bully exposed. A young teacher defending herself. A father's cruelty laid bare. It was perfect content. Righteous anger, wrapped in shareable clips. The nurse finished her examination. Broken nose. Possible concussion. He needs the hospital. I'm not going. You don't have a choice. Principal Hayes walked in. Face grim. Behind him, 2 police officers. Bryce Coleman. You're suspended pending investigation. Officers. His parents are meeting you at the hospital. This is bull. This is consequences. The principal turned to Mackenzie. Miss Torres, I owe you an apology. We should have listened. Should have acted sooner. I don't want apologies. I want changes. You'll get them. Emergency board meeting tonight. This ends now. He looked at Coach. You too. We need that footage. As the officers led Bryce away, he turned back one last time. The rage was gone from his eyes, replaced by something worse. Fear. Raw. Naked fear. I just wanted him to notice me, he said quietly. I just wanted to matter. Then he was gone. The room emptied slowly. Jasmine packed up her equipment, still monitoring the viral spread. Coach Hernandez clapped Mackenzie on the shoulder, a silent acknowledgement of respect. Soon it was just her and Principal Hayes. You'll press charges? She thought about it. I don't know. Maybe. Depends what happens next. The board will back you. Whatever you decide. After he left, Mackenzie sank into a chair. Her hands were trembling now. Adrenaline fully crashed. She'd hit a student, justified or not. She'd used violence in her classroom. Everything her father taught her about control, about restraint, felt shattered. Her phone rang. A number she knew by heart. Mija? Her father's voice, rough with concern. I saw the video. Are you hurt? No. Dad, She stopped. Was she okay? I hit him. You hit a kid. You defended yourself. There's a difference. Is there? I had 3 years of training. He's 17. I could have what? Let him assault you? Let him destroy you like he destroyed others? His voice gentled. Mackenzie, listen to me. You showed more restraint than most would. 1 punch. Clean. Controlled. You stopped when the threat stopped. That's not violence. That's survival. He's broken. Dad. She couldn't finish. Like me? A soft laugh. Maybe. But broken doesn't mean dangerous. I got help. I learned control. This boy, he chose differently. That's on him. Not you. I wanted to help them. To teach them. Not this. You did teach them. You taught them that actions have consequences. That standing up matters. That strength isn't about hurting others. He paused. Your mother would be proud. The tears came then. For her mother, gone too soon. For her father, fighting his demons. For Bryce, lost in his own darkness. For herself, trying so hard to make a difference. Come home this weekend. Her father said, we'll train. Talk. Figure out next steps. Okay. And Mija, that uppercut? Perfect form. Despite everything. She smiled. The next 48 hours blurred together. Love yours. Statements. Media requests. The video hit 10 million views. National news picked it up. Talk shows. Debated self-defense laws. Mackenzie turned down every interview request. Bryce's father held a press conference. Stood at a podium in his $1,000 suit and threw his son under the bus. I'm appalled by Brian's behavior, he said, getting his own son's name wrong. This doesn't represent our family values. He'll face appropriate consequences. No apology to Mackenzie. No acknowledgement of years of enabling Just cold corporate damage control. The school board met in emergency session. Unanimous vote. Bryce expelled. Zero tolerance policy actually enforced. Counseling resources expanded. Coach Hernandez named interim VP of Student Affairs. But the real surprise came from the students. Monday morning, Mackenzie walked into her classroom to find it transformed. Flowers on her desk, handwritten cards covering the whiteboard, a banner across the back wall. Teachers who fight back give us hope. Jasmine stood at the front, organizing the crowd of students. We wanted to say thank you, she said simply, not just for standing up to Bryce, for showing us how, one by one. Students shared stories, kids Bryce had terrorized, teachers who'd been driven away. Years of fear dissolved by one moment of resistance. I thought about dropping out. A sophomore admitted, couldn't take it anymore. But seeing you fight back, maybe I can too. My sister graduated early just to escape him. Another added, she cried when she saw the video. Said she wished she'd had a teacher like you. Mackenzie listened. Overwhelmed. She'd thought violence had destroyed her mission. Instead, it had crystallified it. I need to tell you all something, she said when they finished. Fighting back doesn't always mean physical force. That was a last resort. Real strength is speaking truth, supporting each other, refusing to be silent. But sometimes, Jasmine added, sometimes you need to throw that uppercut. The class laughed. Tension breaking. They spent the period not on lesson plans but on real talk. About bullying. About power. About finding your voice when systems fail you. After school, Mackenzie found an envelope on her car. Expensive stationery. No return address. Inside, a single sheet of paper. Bryce's handwriting. Shaky but clear. Miss Torres, my therapist says I should write this. Says I need to face what I did. I don't expect forgiveness, don't deserve it. Just wanted you to know I'm getting help. Real help, not the kind my dad can buy. You asked me once what I was so angry about. Everything. Everyone. Mostly myself. I became what I hated. Became the monster under someone else's bed. I'm sorry. For all of it. The videos. The harassment. The attack. Sorry I made you fight when you came here to teach. Maybe that's what I needed to learn. That someone would finally fight back. That actions have consequences. That being strong doesn't mean making others weak. I start at a therapeutic boarding school next week. Somewhere I can't hurt anyone else. Can't hide behind my last name. Just be Brian with a ye and figure out who that is. Thank you for stopping me. Before I became something worse, Bryce. She read it twice. Then folded it carefully. Not forgiveness. Not yet. But maybe. Eventually. Understanding. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Miss Torres, this is Sandra Chen from Channel 8. I know you've declined interviews, but we're doing a special on student safety. Would you consider? Actually, Mackenzie interrupted, surprising herself. Yes, but I have conditions. Of course. What did you have in mind? We film at a location I choose. And we talk about more than just the incident. We talk solutions. 3 weeks later, the segment aired. Not from a studio, but from a small gym on the south side of Dallas, Mackenzie in workout clothes, teaching a group of teenage girls basic self-defense. This is about more than throwing punches, she told the camera. It's about confidence, about knowing you have the right to space, to safety, to dignity. The camera panned over the students, different ages, races, backgrounds, all learning to stand stronger. After the incident, I had 2 choices. Mackenzie continued, let it define me or let it refine me. I chose refinement. She'd used her sudden fame to crowdfund a nonprofit, Power Through Peace. Free self-defense classes, bullying intervention, counseling resources. Already, 3 schools had signed up for programs. Violence is never the first answer, she said, helping a student adjust her stance. But when someone tries to steal your power, you take it back. however you can. The segment ended with her teaching the same uppercut that changed everything. Slow motion. Perfect form. But this time, aimed at a punching bag. Not a person. Her father appeared on screen, grizzled and proud. My daughter teaches what I learned too late. Strength without compassion is just destruction. But compassion without strength? That's victimhood. She found the balance. The reporter asked one final question. Do you still teach at Jefferson High? Every day. Same classroom. Same mission. Mackenzie smiled. Just now. Students know I'll go to the mat for them. Literally. The segment closed on a wide shot. Mackenzie surrounded by students, all practicing together. In the corner, barely visible, a photo on the wall. Her mother, smiling, watching over them all. 6 months later, graduation day. Mackenzie sat with the faculty, watching seniors walk across the stage. Jasmine Washington, headed to MIT on full scholarship. Her speech as valedictorian brought the house down. We learned a lot this year, she said. Calculus, chemistry, history. But the most important lesson came from an English teacher who reminded us that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is refuse to kneel. The crowd erupted. Mackenzie blushed, tried to stay composed. After the ceremony, a familiar figure approached. Thinner, quieter, Bryce Coleman in a simple suit. No, swagger left. I'm not supposed to be here, he said quickly. Just wanted to say congratulations. To Jasmine. To you. How are you? Better. Different. Graduating from Millwood Academy next month. He shifted awkwardly. Got into state. Not for football. Academic scholarship. Turns out I'm good at debate when I use words instead of fists. That's wonderful. Bryce. Brian. I go by Brian now. He pulled out an envelope. My dad's still an ass. But my mom, she wanted you to have this inside. A check. $50,000. Made out to power through peace. She says it's not enough for what you did, what you're doing, but it's a start. Mackenzie stared at the check. I can't. You can. You have to. It's… What's that word you taught us? Redemption? This is ours. Mine. He left before she could respond. She watched him go. Walking different now. Smaller. More real. That night, Mackenzie sat in her empty classroom. Boxes packed for summer break. Next year would bring new students, new challenges, but also new hope. Her phone rang. Dad, proud of you. Maya. For what? For remembering what I forgot for too long. Fight's not about winning. It's about protecting what matters. The kids matter. Yes, they do. She looked around the room where everything changed, where she'd been forced to her knees and chose to rise, where violence became transformation. Tomorrow, she'd be back at the gym, teaching stance and breathing and control, but really teaching something deeper, that everyone has power, that no one has the right to take it, that sometimes, just sometimes, an uppercut can lift more than the person throwing it. It can lift a whole community. The last light faded through the windows. Mackenzie Torres, teacher, fighter, survivor, locked her classroom door and headed home, ready for whatever came next. Because now she knew the secret. It wasn't about being fearless. It was about being afraid and standing up anyway. Just like her father taught her. Just like her mother would have wanted. Just like she'd teach others. One student at a time. The uppercut that lifted Bryce Coleman off the ground had done something else too. It had lifted the silence, broken the fear, changed the story. And that was the most powerful lesson of all. 2 years later, Mackenzie stood before a congressional subcommittee in Washington, D.C. The room was packed with reporters, advocates, and survivors. She adjusted the microphone, her father's marine pin on her lapel catching the light. Senators. 2 years ago, I was forced to defend myself in my classroom. That moment sparked a national conversation about student safety, teacher rights, and systemic failures. Today, I'm here to tell you that conversation isn't enough. She clicked a remote parte. Statistics filled the screen behind her. Bullying rates. Teacher assaults. Students afraid to report. Every year, 3.2 million students are bullied. 160,000 kids skip school daily because they're afraid. 20% of teachers report being threatened or attacked. She paused. These aren't just numbers. They're children. Educators. Lives derailed by violence we've normalized. Senator Patricia Williams leaned forward. Miss Torres, what exactly are you proposing? The Safe Schools Initiative. Federal funding for conflict resolution programs. Mandatory reporting systems that actually protect victims. And yes, self-defense training for educators who want it. You're suggesting we teach teachers to fight? I'm suggesting we teach them to protect themselves and their students. There's a difference. Mackenzie pulled up another slide. In the 2 years since Power Through Peace launched, we've trained 8,000 students and 1,200 teachers across 5 states. Violence in participating schools dropped 47%. Not because people are fighting more, but because bullies know their targets aren't helpless. And Brian Coleman, your former student? Mackenzie smiled slightly. Brian's in his 2nd year at state. 3.8 GPA. Volunteers teaching anger management to at-risk youth. He'll testify after me about the importance of intervention and accountability. The hearing lasted 3 hours. Mackenzie fielded every question with the same calm she'd shown that day in room 217. When it ended, reporters swarmed. Miss Torres, do you regret hitting a student? I regret that it was necessary. I don't regret protecting myself. Would you do it again? I hope I never have to. That's why we're here. Back in Dallas, the gym was bustling. Coach Hernandez, now retired, taught grappling basics to middle schoolers. Jasmine Washington, home from MIT, ran social media campaigns that reached millions. The walls were covered with photos. Students who'd found their strength, teachers who'd reclaimed their classrooms. Even a letter from the president, commending their work. You ready for this? Coach asked, as Mackenzie changed into workout clothes, as ready as anyone can be. Today was special. The first national conference for Power Through Peace. Educators from 30 states had come to learn the program. But first, a demonstration. Mackenzie stepped onto the mat. Across from her, a surprise guest. Brian Coleman. No longer the swaggering bully, but a young man who'd earned his way back. You sure about this? She asked. I need to. For closure. For them. He gestured to the audience. To show them change is possible. They sparred slowly, demonstrating techniques, defense and control, how to disable without destroying. Brian took falls with grace, showing how aggressors could be stopped safely. 2 years ago, I attacked Miss Torres. He told the crowd between moves. I thought strength meant domination. She taught me it meant discipline, control, protecting instead of terrorizing. When they finished, the applause was thunderous. But Mackenzie noticed one person not clapping. A woman in the back. Designer clothes. Nervous energy. Brian's mother. Because sometimes the best teachers are those who teach us to fight back. The right way. For the right reasons. Until no one has to fight at all. Properly. Mrs. Coleman. Patricia. Please. She glanced at Brian, who was helping Coach stack mats. That boy over there? He's not my son. My son disappeared sophomore year, replaced by his father's creation. Angry, violent, lost. Her voice cracked. You brought him back. Mackenzie shifted uncomfortably. He brought himself back. You stopped him? Before he became unredeemable. Patricia pulled out her phone, showed a photo. Brian at a homeless shelter, serving Thanksgiving dinner. Another of him tutoring kids at the library. This is who he was supposed to be. Who he is now. He wrote me last month. Mackenzie admitted. Said he's applying to law school. Wants to be a youth advocate. Following his brother's path, but for different reasons. Not for approval. For purpose. Patricia tucked the phone away. His father still won't speak to him. Says real Colemans don't apologize. Don't show weakness. But I think real strength is admitting when you're wrong. Across the gym, Brian noticed his mother. His face cycled through emotions surprise. Hope. That old fear. Patricia raised her hand slightly. A wave. An invitation. He walked over slowly. Mom, I didn't know you were coming. I've been watching. Learning. She touched his arm gently. I'm proud of you. 3 words. Simple. Devastating. Brian's eyes filled. All that swagger, all that rage, melted down to a boy who'd waited his whole life to hear them. Mackenzie stepped back, giving them space. But Patricia caught her hand. Thank you, she whispered, for seeing the boy under the bully, for giving him a chance to choose differently. Later that evening, Mackenzie found her father in the gym's small office. He was organizing registration forms, moving with the careful precision that helped manage his symptoms. Good crowd today, he said without looking up. Saw that Senator's aide taking notes. Think the bill might pass? Maybe. Hopefully. She sat on the desk edge. Dad, was I wrong to hit him? He set down the papers. Really looked at her. You've asked me this before. I know, but seeing him now, seeing who he became, what if I'd found another way? What if you hadn't? He leaned back. What if he'd hurt you? Hurt another student? What if he'd escalated until someone got seriously injured? He shook his head. Mia, you can't judge past actions by future outcomes. You responded to the threat in front of you, with violence, with measured force. There's a difference I learned too late. He touched his temple, where the invisible scars lived. In Iraq, I used violence without measure. Let it consume me. You? You used exactly what was needed. No more. No less. Then you built something from it. We built something. No. You. I just helped. This? He gestured around the gym. This is yours. Your pain into power. Your moment of violence transformed into thousands of moments of strength. She thought about all the students who'd walked through these doors, scared kids who left confident, bullied teens who learned to stand tall, teachers who no longer felt helpless. The ripples, she murmured. Exactly. That one uppercut? It's still lifting people? We'll keep lifting them long after we're gone. A knock at the door interrupted them. Jasmine poked her head in. Miss Torres? There's someone here to see you. Says it's important. In the lobby stood a young woman. Maybe 19. Cheap clothes. Expensive bruise. She clutched a wrinkled flyer for Power Through Peace. Are you the teacher? From the video? Mackenzie nodded. Her father was right. Violence alone was just destruction. But violence transformed into teaching, into protection, into hope. That was power. Real power. The kind that lifted everyone it touched.